Hello students, in our last lecture we studied about acceleration due to gravity. Now we will start our today's lecture with topic number 8.7, gravitational potential energy. Students, we know that what is potential energy, but here we are going to study about the potential energy related to the gravitational field. Every object having mass has a gravitational field. Not only Earth, every object which has a mass has a gravitational field. And so there is a potential energy related to it. Now students, we know that the gravitational force is a conservative, and so the potential energy of a body arising out of this force is called gravitational potential energy. Here in figure you can see this is Earth, this is center of the Earth. So from the center to the surface, this distance is the radius of the Earth. Now we have selected 2 points, points A and B. From the surface of the Earth, point A is at height h1 and point B is at height h2. So now at a distance much smaller than the radius, means we have selected these 2 points above the surface of the Earth, but these 2 points, they are not far away from the surface, means these distances are very much less than the radius of the Earth. So in such case the force of gravity can be considered constant, because students, we know that at a large distance, as we move above the surface of the Earth, the value of G changes. The value of G goes on decreasing as we move above the surface of the Earth. That means G is not constant at each and every point. Near the surface of the Earth, G remains constant. And so as these 2 points are not very far away from the surface of the Earth, and that's why this statement is written at a distance much smaller than the radius. The gravitational force is given by F is equal to mg. That is, if any mass is kept at this point m, then the force acting on this particle due to Earth is given by F is equal to mg, where g is the acceleration due to gravity at this point. Let us give this equation number 1. Now work done in moving a particle from point A to point B is given by, we know that work is force into displacement. So here also we are moving a small particle from point A to point B. So we can consider this as the first position, that is initial, and this as the second position, which is the final position. So here work done W12 means from point 1 to point 2 is equal to force into displacement. Force is mg from this equation number 1, and displacement, how much the body is displaced. So it is clear that final position is h2, initial position is h1. So h2 minus h1. So this displacement from A to B is h2 minus h1. Now simply opening these brackets, we will get mgh2 minus mgh1, where we can say that mgh2 is the potential energy at point 2, that is at point B in the figure, and mgh1 is the potential energy of point 1, that is initial point, which is point A in the figure. So definitely work done is nothing but is difference of the potential energy. Once again, work done is the difference of the potential energies. So I have written this statement: the work done in moving the particle is just the difference of the potential energy between its final and initial positions. Now students, if the potential energy of the surface of the earth is considered as u naught, u naught means at the surface, then the potential energy at height h is given by u as a function of height is equal to mgh plus u naught. Means at some height h, the potential energy is given by addition of this two, where this is the potential energy of the surface or on the surface. But generally we consider the potential energy on the surface of the earth is equal to 0, and so finally we can say that the potential energy at any height h is given by mgh. But remember, at the surface of the earth also the potential energy cannot be 0. Even we can consider potential energy at any point as a 0 with respect to another point. Suppose if we want to find the potential energy at point B with respect to point A, remember, potential energy at point B with respect to point A, then with respect to point A, this is the initial point. So at this point we can consider the potential energy to be 0 to find the potential energy at point B. So we can choose a reference point anywhere, and at that reference point we can consider the potential energy to be 0. Now if we consider points at arbitrary distance from the surface of the earth, means now at any distance from the surface, this point P can be anywhere at a large distance also, then the assumptions that the gravitational force mg is constant is no longer valid, because we know that as we move up, gravitational force decreases. So at any arbitrary point the gravitational force mg need not to be constant. Now students, here figure shows that there is a point P which is at a distance r from the center of the earth. This is earth, and as this point P is outside the earth, the whole mass of the earth is considered to be concentrated at the center. This is the radius of the earth, and at point P a mass m is kept. So it is clear that according to universal law of gravitation, the force acting on this particle of mass m is given by g, mass of the earth, into mass of the particle upon square of the distance between them. Now suppose we are lifting that particle from first position to second position along the vertical path. So definitely, as the particle is displaced from one point to other, the work is done. Now students, if we take these 2 points at distance r1 and at distance r2, whose difference is very large, then this force will not remain constant. The gravitational force acting at this point r1 will be different than this point r2, because here the distance is very large. But students, if we consider the displacement of the particle for a small displacement, if we take a small displacement denoted by dr, then for that small displacement this force can be considered as a constant. For small displacement, force is constant, and so work done for this displacement dr is a small work done dw, which is equal to f dr. So first we will write the small work done, that is work done for small displacement. We have to take this small displacement to consider force as a constant. So this is the work done for small displacement dw, but we want to find the work done from point 1 to point 2. So for that, now we have to integrate from initial position to final position, and that's why the total work done in lifting a particle from initial position r1 to final position r2 is the integration of r1 to r2 f dr. Now students, actually we know that it is f dot dr, but here force and the displacement, they are in same line, and so we can remove this dot product and simply we can write f dr. But you can see here there is a negative sign. This negative sign is because the direction of the force and the displacement, they are opposite to each other. Let me show you from the figure. Students, we know that we are moving the particle in this direction, so direction of displacement is upward, but the force acting on the particle is towards the center, that is in the downward direction. So force is towards vertically downward direction and displacement is towards vertically upward, and that's why there is a negative sign. Now what is f? From equation number 1, f is gmem upon r square. See here, we have already given this equation number 2, sorry, it is number 2. So from that number 2 we have kept that value of force here. Now g is a constant, mass of the earth is also not going to change, that is also constant, mass of the particle which is to be displaced, that is also constant. So constant terms were taken out, so what is remain inside? 1 upon r square dr as it is. Now integrating this 1 upon r square, will get r raised to minus 1 upon minus 1. Students, I hope you know how to integrate this. Still, if you don't know, let me show you. integration of this, I'll show you. This is constant, so it will remain as it is. So it will be equal to integration from r1 to r2. Students, this 1 upon r square can be written as r raised to minus 2 dr as it is. Now next step, we know that in integration, whatever the power is there, 1 is added. So r raised to minus 2 plus 1 will give you r raised to minus 1, and whatever there is the power, that is in the denominator. So we get r raised to minus 1 upon minus 1. And limits, initial and final. Now our next step is, this minus 1 is taken out. So already there was minus, so minus into minus will become plus, and r raised to minus 1 can be written as 1 upon r. So this is the next step. Here negative sign was removed and r raised to minus 1 becomes 1 upon r. Now our next step is to put upper limit, then minus lower limit. So now in place of r, first we will put r2, so is here. Then minus, in place of r we will put r1, so is here. Now students, if we consider this distance r2 at infinity, then we can write this r1 is equal to r. Means from the surface of the earth, if we consider the second position, that is final position, to be at infinity, so we can consider that r2 is equal to infinity. So in that case we can write r1 is equal to r. So now in place of r2 we have kept infinity, so in place of r1 now it is distance r. But 1 upon infinity is equal to 0. Anything upon infinity is 0. And also remember students, 1 upon 0 is undefined or infinity. Now if this term is 0, then multiplying GMEM into minus 1 upon r, we will get work done is equal to minus GMEM upon r. So this work done is the gravitational potential energy of the body of mass m at a distance r from the earth's center. Work done is nothing but it is gravitational potential energy. So we obtained the formula for the gravitational potential energy. Students, we know that if it is r square in the denominator, then it is a force. But if it is only r, that is r raised to 1, then it is gravitational potential energy, but it is always negative. And also remember, there will be product of two masses. Here one is the earth and the other is of that of particle. So now in general we can say that if there are two particles separated by distance r, then this system of two particles also has the gravitational potential energy. And so I have written the gravitational potential energy associated with two particles of masses m1 and m2 separated by distance r is given by u is equal to minus g m1 into m2 upon distance r. So I hope you understood about the gravitational potential energy. Now about gravitational potential. Students, to understand this gravitational potential due to Earth, we know that if at this point, if there is mass m, then there is a gravitational potential energy related to Earth and the mass. But if there is no mass here, simply we have selected a point here above the surface of the Earth. If we select any point, then due to Earth there is a potential at this point. Remember, if there is a point, then there is a potential due to Earth, and if there is a mass at this point, then there will be a gravitational potential energy. So every point around any mass has a potential. Here also, if we consider two masses separated by this distance r, then they have potential energy. But if at this point, if I remove this mass is not present, then I can say that at this point there is a potential due to this mass. Or if I remove this mass, then at this point there is a potential due to this mass which is present here. This is not present, so here at this point there will be a potential of mass m2 at distance r. Now symbol for potential is V. Students, in your textbook the symbol for gravitational potential energy is taken V, but actually it should be for potential and not the potential energy. Potential energy is always denoted by U. So here this V symbol is for the gravitational potential. So now once again, if there is a mass at this point, and if we select any point P here which is at a distance r, then at this point P the potential V is given by minus g m, this mass, upon distance r. So students, this is the formula for the gravitational potential. This is for gravitational potential energy. There are product of two masses, so it will be potential energy, and here only one mass will be there. But remember, gravitational potential energy or gravitational potential, both are negative. Gravitational potential of the Earth for a particle above the surface of the Earth, that's why it is written r is greater than or equal to r. If the particle is on the surface of the Earth or it is above, then the potential due to Earth, gravitational potential due to Earth is given by minus g me, that is mass of the Earth, upon r. Now example number 8.3. Now example number 8.3. Students, here given that there is a square, and on the vertices of this square equal masses are kept. M is the mass which are kept at the vertices. This is the center of the square denoted by point O. Given that the length of the square is L, so all these distances will be L. Now from the center of the square, this distance we have taken as R. So what is relation between L and R? So it is clear that this forms a right angle triangle, and distance from 2 to 4, that is this distance will be R plus R, that is twice of R. So this is the length of the hypotenuse. This side from 4 to 3 is L, and from 3 to 2 is L. So if we apply the Pythagoras theorem, then we will get square of the hypotenuse is equal to L square plus L square, means square of the sum of the remaining sides. So in this way we can obtain the relation between R and L. Now for this system of 4 particles, we want to find the potential energy U, as well as we want to find the potential at the center. Now students, here there are 4 particles in a system, and the potential energy is related to each pair, means the potential energy is related to particles at point 1 and 2, the particle at point 1 and 3, particle at point 1 and 4. So there are how many pairs? We can get 6 pairs of 2 such system of particles. So the total potential energy of the system is potential energy of particles 1 and 2, that is U12, similarly U13, U14, then 23, 24, and then finally 34. So we have to consider each pair. No pair should remain. Once again I will show you. First pair is 1 and 2, then second pair will be 1 and 3, third pair will be 1 and 4, then 2 and 3. We cannot take 2 and 1 because already 1 and 2, that pair is considered. So 2 and 3, then 2 and 4, then 3 and 4. So you will get such 6 pairs, and each pair has a potential energy. But one thing is clear, that here these 2 pairs 2 4 and 1 3, these 2 pairs, their distance is twice of R, and this pair 1 2 3 and 4, this 4 pair is having distance L, and so I have written here that pair 1 2 1 4 2 3 and 3 4, they are along the sides whose distance is L, and so their gravitational potential energy will be equal, and the gravitational potential energy for this pair along the side is negative of G m1 into m2, that is m square, and upon distance between them is L. So I have written this. Let us give this equation number 2 and this summation of all the potential energy as equation number 1. Now, two sides which are along the diagonals, their potential energy is G, but always negative, so minus G m into m, that is m square. But what is distance between these 2 points? It is r plus r, so it is twice of r. And so I have written minus gm square upon 2r. But as I said that applying Pythagoras theorem, we got 2r is equal to root 2l, and therefore r is equal to root 2 upon 2l. So simple mathematics is there. By applying Pythagoras theorem, we will get this value of 2r as well as r from that. And so in place of 2r, we have written root 2l here, because r is not given. That we have supposed that from the center the distance of vertex is r, but actually length of the side is given, so we have to write r in terms of l. That's why we have written this root 2l. Let us give this equation number 3. So now students, 4 pair, each having gravitational potential energy this much. So adding these 4, we will get this as 4 times of this. And along the diagonals there are 2 pairs and each has potential energy this or this. So as there are 2 pairs, so it is multiplied by 2. These are 4 such pairs, so multiplied by 4. Now simplification. What is common in both these terms? Here in these two terms, gm square upon l, gm square upon l, that is common, as well as 4 means it is 2 into 2, so 2 is common and negative sign. So taking this common terms outside, what is remained here? 2, and here 1 upon root 2. So this is simple mathematics, you can do it. Now if you calculate this 2 plus 1 upon root 2, then you will get 2.707, and if this is multiplied with 2, then it will be 5.41. Remember, there is a negative sign everywhere because gravitational potential energy is always negative. Rest of the thing as it is. So we obtained the gravitational potential energy of system of 4 particles situated on the vertices of a square. Now about gravitational potential at the center. Now students, consider that this mass is here and we want to find the potential at this point O, that is at the center. So we can write the potential at point O due to this mass m at a distance r as V is equal to G, mass is m and distance is r, but always negative. So this is the potential due to this mass only. But there are how many masses? There are total 4 masses. Even there is mass here, even here and here also. But you can see the situation is similar only. Here the mass is m, which is equal to this only. Distance is also same as earlier. So potential due to this second particle at the center is same as the first particle at the center, again is same as the third particle at the center, and that of 4. And so what we have to do, simply multiply it by 4. Potential due to first particle is minus gm upon r. So for 4 particles we have to multiply this by 4, and so we will get the resultant potential at the center due to all these particles. And so gravitational potential V is equal to minus 4 times of gm upon r. But what is r? R is written here. It is root 2 upon 2 into L. So in place of r, root 2L upon 2 is written. Now after simplifying this, you will get potential V is equal to minus 4 root 2 gm upon L. Students, here this root 2 upon 2L is equal to L upon root 2, and as this root 2 now it is in the denominator of denominator, that is here at this place, that can be taken in the numerator with 4. And so this equation. So students, I hope you understood about gravitational potential energy and gravitational potential. If you have any doubt in the calculation or understanding any concept, then you can ask me.